Ah, hello there. Me again. It's a funny thing how a role can stay with you, not as a costume, but as an old guest, sitting quietly in your mind and sharing a story now and then. Sometimes it's the smallest moments, the details you might miss if you blink, that hold the greatest truths. There was such a moment when I, as Gandalf, was imprisoned, trapped atop the pinnacle of Orthanc, a spire of obsidian malice, held there by my old friend, Saruman. From up there, I could see the world, the distant mountains, the forest sinking into shadow, the tiny lights of far-off farmhouses. I could see everything, and yet I was utterly powerless. A great wizard, captive to a greater one. Power had met power, and I had lost. It was a place of despair. There was no escape, only cold stone, the howling wind, and the endless void below. It would have been so easy to surrender to the thought that it was all over. That hope was a luxury I could no longer afford. And then, in the deep of the night, a visitor arrived. It was not a warrior, nor a king. It was a moth, a tiny, fragile, dusty thing, fluttering aimlessly in the dark. It had been drawn to the only small light on that peak, the faint glow from my pipe. It circled me, its paper-thin wings seeming far too frail for the brutal winds at that height. Anyone else, anyone lost in their own self-pity, might have waved it away, a trivial annoyance. But in that moment, I looked at the moth and I did not see weakness. I saw a messenger. Something small and alive had found its way to the loneliest place in the world. It knew nothing of the war, of rings, or the treachery of wizards. It was simply following the light. And I understood a profound truth. Hope does not need to be a roar. Sometimes hope is a whisper. And so I leaned in and I whispered to that tiny creature. I did not give a command. I sent a plea. I placed all my remaining hope upon its fragile wings and trusted it to the night. I asked it to carry my message, to ride the wind, and to find help. A seemingly foolish act, a fool's gamble. But you see, the world is not run by great powers alone. It is also woven from the delicate threads of the unforeseen. Help does not always come from the direction you expect. Sometimes it arrives in the form of a small, dusty creature, drawn to a tiny light in the darkness. The lesson, I suppose, is simple. Even when you are trapped on the highest peak of your own despair, in the coldest of nights, never underestimate the power of a small light. And never dismiss the smallest of messengers, because sometimes your salvation may just depend on a whisper, sent on the wings of a moth. Keep faith, and keep an eye out for the little things. They often carry the most important messages of all. Please subscribe to my channel.